Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to another professional match of StarCraft 2. Now what I got for you today is a really exciting match of Terran versus Zerg, because this is actually the very first game that I am casting in the new Balance test map. So here's the thing, StarCraft 2 is currently in a bit of a weird spot. BlizzCon just wrapped up, we have a new world champion. However, we also know that there's soon gonna be a new balance overhaul for the multiplayer version of StarCraft 2, and a lot of strategies are just about to change drastically. Also, a lot of tournaments are currently on a bit of a break, so that means that a lot of pro gamers, while they wait for the new balance changes to be live on the ladder, are also on a bit of a break. However, BattleCruiser Rifkin himself, he has been putting out tournaments and show matches with the new balance changes, and these are actually going to be available in this match right here as well. He recommended this game for me to go ahead and cast, so I am really excited for it, because I've got a feeling we may very well have a bit of a new strategy coming very soon. I mean, for example, for Terran, right, we saw changes to the Cyclone, to the Battlecruiser, to the Medevac, to the Widowmine, to the Thor, to the Banshee, and basically all of the core Terran units have gotten a bit of an upgrade. And likewise for Zerg, we saw changes to Creep, to the Queen, to Burrow, to the Roaches, to Infestors, to Ultralisks, to the Nidus Worm. There's basically a ton of changes that are going live very, very soon, and I'm excited to figure out what these two players have in store for us today. Anyways, I don't think I've introduced the players yet, right? Have I? No, I don't think so. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map and playing with the yellow Terran SCVs. We are currently looking inside of the main base of Future. And his opponent spawning in the opposite corner. He's playing with the red Zerg drones. We have none other than Cham. Alrighty. So what kind of strategy will we see? So far, everything is looking very normal. This is usually what happens just about every time there's a new either expansion or a new multiplayer patch for StarCraft 2. Players will be opening up what is the current standard for a really long time until someone figures out something utterly broken, and then all of a sudden everyone will switch over to that superior strategy very, very quickly. Now, nice catch there by Future. We are, by the way, on a map called Kairos Junction, which is a new map. This is obviously the very first game that I am casting on this map as well. A little bit of micro here between these two players, but this is one of the maps that will be going live with the new ladder season. Now, great block there, actually, by Future. Did you see that? He threw... is he gonna get it? Yeah, he did. He threw the grenade right there at the second Vespian Geyser while body blocking the drone towards that other Vespian Geyser. And that means that the third base will be delayed for a little while, and instead, Cham is gonna go for another queen here, as well as one in the main base. Eventually, though, I think that this third base will be taken, but that's a nice little advantage there for Future. But this is one of those things, right? I wouldn't be surprised if both players are playing their very first game on this map as well. Sometimes you have to send the drone a little bit quicker towards the third base, and the only way you can figure that kind of thing out is just by playing a lot of games. Anyways, I don't think Rifkin would have recommended this game, though, to me if it didn't have an unorthodox strategy on it, right? I mean, I would be very surprised if this is just gonna be a normal game. So I'm really excited to see what kind of unit will be abused, for the most part. So strategies, right, in StarCraft 2, at least historically, take a really long time before they are flushed out. I mean, sometimes people ask me, Lowko, what is the meta? What is like the current standard? And it's really hard to say because the meta continuously changes onto the point where at some point people will figure out what is the so-called standard just because it's good against pretty much everything. But in order to figure out what's good against pretty much everything, strategies will need to be developed over the course of time. Now here is something different. Future is going for a fusion core. Now this could be for ranged liberators, which is something that we saw for a while in the pro scene, but I kinda hope it's Battlecruisers. Please tell me it's Battlecruisers. Cham is gonna fly this Overlord in right now. He will figure out that something is not quite right. Cloaking Field will actually be started up, immediately cancelled, and there we go. Okay. The first Battlecruiser is queued up, and I hope that there are gonna be many more, because right now, yeah, there we go. Yamato Cannon is also being researched, or I guess the research is called, I believe, Weapon Refit, but it unlocks the Yamato Cannon. Couple of Hellions now, though, trying to make their way towards the natural mineral line of Cham. And it looks like they will be able to do so just fine. Nice little rows there, already getting 6 of those workers. And while eventually, I've got a feeling these Hellions will likely go down as well. That's a trait that Future is likely very happy to take because it slows down anything that Zerg wants to do. Not only is there a lot of lost mining time, but there's also a lot of workers that will have to be replaced here. And he right now also figures out that there's only really a handful of roaches, so I don't think that Cham is really gonna get all too aggressive with those. Okay, so I guess it's probably smart to quickly recap some of the changes if we see a core unit, right? So the Battlecruiser, it's historically always been a terrible unit. Please make another one, by the way. Future, can you make another one? Ooh. Oh, he immediately tactical jumped it across the map. Now, it does a flat up 20% or so additional damage to ground. Just because of the random delay that has been removed, they deal way more damage. It's already got 6 kills. It can now also, as you may have already noticed, move while attacking at the same time. It's kind of like a... I guess like a phoenix in that way. It can move and attack at the same time, which obviously makes it way more powerful. Now, historically, Battlecruisers are very, very bad. There's, by the way, another one being produced in additional starports coming up. But the thing is that Battlecruisers are very, very potent right now. I've been messing around with them a little while. They are very good when it comes to air-to-ground, but they're pretty bad when it comes to air-to-air combat. So, for example, Corruptors would be pretty good against it, but I've got a feeling that, for example, just a sheer amount of numbers, right? For example, just a whole bunch of queens are going to be really good as well. The thing is, Battlecruisers are terrible at getting out of the engagement if they do not have their tactical jump available. So if Future continuously jumps into a mineral line like that, he's gonna be in trouble, right? But the thing is, you can also use that tactical jump defensively. What Future could, for example, do, and I've been trying this quite a bit myself as well on the balance test map, what you can try and do is just simply send the Battlecruisers across the map, fight until they are at low HP, and then tactical jump them backwards. And there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential. There we go. Second Battlecruiser will also be moving across. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. Future currently is going up against only just a couple of roaches. Hydralisk are now coming up, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be the best choice. So roaches do get a bit of a buff to their tunneling claws upgrade, which I don't really see coming into play right now. But Hydralisk are just straight up weaker than they used to be. They got a bit of a damage speed reduction, lowering their all-round DPS. There we go! Another Yamato cannon will be activated on one of those queens. Second queen there also will be going down. The Spore Crawler is also taking a huge amount of damage. The Future is just gonna continue pushing here with just a handful of Battlecruisers. And you can see Cham is unsure how to respond to this. Oh my god, eventually I've got a feeling these Battlecruisers will be pushed back, but that's 13 and 2 kills respectively already. Keep in mind, they've got tactical jump. They can just get out of here. Well, I mean, you do have to micro that. And this is one of the things that players worry about. Is this kind of strategy overpowered? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But with more and more Battlecruisers coming out, right? I mean, that's 2 at a time right now. And with more and more upgrades coming up as well, there's certainly a lot of potential here. A couple of roaches actually trying to get a bit of a run by. I think they might be able to just simply walk into the natural here. Yeah, I mean, as long as, yeah, okay. I'm assuming Future is probably going to be a little bit distracted, and with that depot down, there's really nothing much to defend against it. By the way, 2 more Battlecruisers are moving across. A couple Battlecruisers are defensively used. Once again, he's on top of those tactical jumps, though, which is wonderful, because another couple of Battlecruisers are now killing those roaches in the mineral line. How many workers went down? Actually, quite a lot. Cham ended up killing a lot of workers, and he's still going to town here. Nicely done there. That's a lot of workers. And even though the Battlecruisers have been putting in some work, I've got a feeling that these roaches just got an even amount of damage done as well. Obviously, the roaches did sacrifice themselves for that damage, but that is still a substantial amount of SCVs that just disappeared. So who's ahead right now? I can't tell you. I have no idea. Who's currently ahead? I would probably be kind of leaning towards Cham, but I'm not entirely sure if I like his decision to go for Hydralisk. Hydras just simply are weaker than they once were, and Battlecruisers are excellent when it comes to fighting ground armies. Look at this, look at this. He's gonna just jump it out, right? There we go. The Hydras are melting. Oh man, this is so dirty. This is so dirty. He's trying to basically overwhelm the Battlecruisers in just sheer amount of numbers, right? Those spore crawlers are gonna be great as well, but once again, tactical jump is being used at the perfect time. The Yamato cannon is coming up as well, and whenever he jumps these Battlecruisers backwards, I think he's just simply repairing them back up to full HP as well, yeah. These SCVs at the third are mostly just being used right now to repair, which works out just fine. Now, one thing that is also gonna take a long time to figure out, as a couple more Hydras apparently really want to die too, is the way that upgrades work. So, Battlecruisers are so uncommon to use that nobody really knows exactly how they function when it comes to upgrades. As it is in the current version of StarCraft 2, so the one that I guess we played at BlizzCon, Battlecruisers just simply get overwhelmed really easily. They're just not very good. However, if you get them +3 upgrades, sometimes they can catch your opponent off guard as well. +3 upgrades, and in particular, air weapon upgrades are absolutely phenomenal. The way that air weapons work, or I guess upgrades in StarCraft 2 work in general, is that every single shot that the Battlecruiser does, with for example +2 ground or air weapon upgrades, will take an additional, or will deal an additional rather, 2 damage. Which is absolutely substantial when you think about the speed at which a Battlecruiser fires. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. I mean, still we see more and more Hydras coming up. Likewise, obviously, Carapace upgrades are going to be incredible for these Zerg units. A couple of units, though, made their way into the natural mineral line as well. Battlecruiser is eventually going to jump into that. And you can see at, you know, the speed at which it picks off these Zerglings, it's quite substantial. At the same time, though, the Battlecruiser fleet is making its way across. Ooh. Spore crawlers are being target fired down, but at the same time, a lot of Hydras are dealing a substantial amount of damage. A couple of Battlecruisers are going down, mostly just to miss micro here from the Terran player. Battlecruisers are just simply moving backwards, but that's still a lot of Battlecruisers are alive. I think they're gonna go after the Spore crawlers once again. Queens are dealing a lot of damage though, and I think that with the amount of Hydras falling here, Future might be able to push onwards after these Battlecruisers get back up to full HP. What a cool style. So, if Zerg is never really able, right, to get that big Zerg ball out, it's gonna be very difficult. Another Battlecruiser falls. But it's gonna be very difficult to overwhelm this. These couple of Hellbats actually helping out as well, and killing some of those tumors is really nice because it's gonna be hard for those Hydras to chase it down. And that's kind of the thing. If you have Battlecruisers with tactical jump, you can just simply micro them to no end. You could see Future right there making a couple of missed controls as well. I don't think you want to go that deep onto the creep here, in particular with those Hydras out, but if your micro is perfect, right, these Battlecruisers should be able to stay alive for a substantial amount of time. Now, they do take a long time to repair back up as well because they have a lot of HP. But once again, a lot of SCVs are currently hard at work underneath the Battlecruiser fleet, and are trying to repair whatever they can. Now, of course, some of you may be wondering, Lowko, how the heck are they repairing from the ground? Nobody knows. Nobody actually knows. Oh, I like this. Okay, so a bit of a switch here. Cham is now getting himself a couple Infestors. Now, Infestors are a very different unit. They are much smaller and they are much smarter when it comes to walking around. Just them being smaller and them being able to stack up more allows you to obviously pay or play the Infestors a lot more efficiently. So here they are. They look a little bit smaller. Look at them. They're like, you know, a little bit cuter, right? And just because the unit size itself has been reduced, all of a sudden they are much cleverer. Now, at the same time, apparently, there was a big tactical jump inside of the main base. I actually don't know exactly how this plays out. I mean, look at these Hydras. They're just getting picked off while they're trying to move on top of the ramp. The Infestors are spewing out some of those infested Terrans, which are going to be excellent. Now, keep in mind, tactical jump is going to be on cooldown here. That was a very ballsy move. And Future says, is this what Protoss feels like? Oh, God. Just A-move late-game units? Oh my god. Well, that's a spicy comment indeed, Future. Living up to his clan tag right there. Cham is not even saying anything. The Hydras are getting picked off as soon as they spawn, and Cham decides to GG out. Alright, throwing a little bit of shade there. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Of course, Future is referring to the way that carriers sometimes work in StarCraft 2. You get maxed out on carriers and High Templar and you have a mothership up above. Good luck killing it if you're the opponent. Now, obviously, you know, Zero gave us a masterclass at that strategy at the BlizzCon Grand Finals. He showed us how to dismantle that kind of maxed out Protoss air style, but it's very, very difficult to do that kind of thing. And it does make me curious, though. Is there gonna be room for a Terran late-game death ball with Battlecruisers? Are Battlecruisers maybe a little bit too powerful right now? Or did Cham just simply not respond accordingly? Only time will tell. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notifications as soon as future videos go live. A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for all of your generosity. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you once again in the next one.